financial regulators in the White House really just trying to restore confidence and avert a possible financial crisis.
The government seized Silicon Valley Bank Friday after a panic led to a run on deposits. That bank was popular among the tech industry. Regulators yesterday also shut down New York-based Signature Bank. That was a major lender in the cryptocurrency industry. Federal agencies say all depositors will be able to access their money starting today. That is meant to avert other bank runs. President Biden says none of the losses from these bank failures will burden taxpayers.
Because of the actions that our regulators have already taken, every American should feel confident that their deposits will be there if and when they need them. We must get the full accounting of what happened and why those responsible can be held accountable.
The president says he will ask Congress and banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks just to make it less likely something like this will happen again.
Well, the biggest U.S. bank failures since the 2008 financial crisis have a lot of people concerned about what will happen to the global economy.
Yeah,
so let's start with a look at the big board. About a half an hour into the trading day. Oh, things up. Interesting. Yeah. So we're up about 91 points. Traders trying to figure out the wider effects, though, I think, of all these backstopping depositors in Silicon Valley. The bank, that is. Other bank stocks like Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase kind of feeling the heat this morning. It's even worse for the smaller regional banks, so definitely something to watch as Wall Street tries to figure out what to do with all this information right now. We take a deeper dive into what happened with SMU economics professor Dr. Mike Davis. Mike, thanks for being with us.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so thinking back to 2008 when we saw banks go under because of the risky mortgages, that was then. This is now. What happened this time?
Well, there's unique things to this particular bank, but more broadly, what we're seeing is yet again a failure of the regulatory system. You mentioned 2008. We passed lots of banking regulation reform, and everybody said, "Oh, it's fixed. We're never going to have a problem again." Well, guess what? We've got a problem again.
Yeah, and what do you expect to happen in the coming days now? Was the government stepping in? Was that enough? Is that enough to take care of it? Has the problems, has the bleeding stopped, or you think there's more to come?
So short term, there's not a problem. Everybody listening to us, what you heard President Biden say, that's actually absolutely true. Your money is safe. Long term, though, I'm really curious as to whether we'll finally get the message and get serious about setting up our financial system in such a way that this kind of thing won't happen again.
Yeah, I know the president mentioned that there were some changes over the years to bank regulations. Let's take a look to hear what he had to say.
During the Obama-Biden administration, we put in place tough requirements on banks like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, including the Dodd-Frank law to make sure that the crisis we saw in 2008 would not happen again. Unfortunately, the last administration rolled back some of these requirements.
So would you agree that rollback of those requirements led to this, or was this just going to happen one way or another?
No, this was a total failure of regulation. It wasn't just because a few regulations were rolled back a few months ago or a few years ago. This was like, if you can imagine, somebody is in a bar all day drinking for free, and then they get into their Ferrari. There's going to be an accident. We know already that this SVB bank was a nightmare. And why the regulators in California didn't pick up on that is just totally mysterious.
Okay, and that has me worried about my bank because those are huge banks. Should we all be concerned that our banks might end up in the same situation?
No, absolutely not. Okay. Our money is safe, especially for a small depositor. We've got that FDIC insurance. That is absolutely bulletproof. Don't worry for a minute that you're not going to be able to go to the ATM or you're not going to be able to write a check. But long term, it's just, we can't have a system that works this way. Sooner or later, these people have to just do common sense regulatory reform. And I'm not talking, we don't need more rules. We need a different kind of rules to handle these things.
Yeah, I know that the tech companies, a lot of those tech startup companies, use Silicon Valley Bank. Do you think we're going to see kind of a ripple effect because of this?
Yeah, short term, again, nobody's going to lose their money, so it's not like there's going to be panic in the streets. What I do think we'll see is an awful lot of companies with relatively big cash bank accounts. They'll be moving their accounts to the bigger money center banks. This is probably good news for the very biggest national banks.
All right. Thank you, Mike Davis, for your insight. We appreciate it.